ended up, having a solid career. I mean, as you said earlier, you didn't play much as you wanted, didn't have a career you wanted, but you were part of some major experiences, man. What was that 2002 championship run like? And as you think back at that run, there's always that moment during that season where it's maybe a turning point or something happened, and everybody's perspective is different. So I want to know from your perspective, as a part of the team, what do you think the turning point that propelled that team into greatness later on in the year?
Yeah, that was a hard year for me because I had a really good summer going into that.
Yeah.
And I was going to be in the rotation on that team and was playing really well through the first 3 weeks of practice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I trashed my ankle/leg. So I became a redshirt. And we got most people don't realize, this, that team got off to a 7-6 start.
Yeah.
So we were playing well in the non-com, but we just couldn't get over the hump. We lost to Butler right before Christmas, and that was hard. And then the turning point sounds strange, but the first conference game of the year was at Northwestern.
Mm-hmm.
And we hadn't been playing great. And George, one of my best friends, he sprains his ankle at the tip.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty bad. And we put Jared Odell basically in the starting lineup because, 2 seconds of the game. And Jared, I don't know the stats, but he played that game, AJ. He had 18, 20, a bunch of boards. He played. And he was a really good complimentary player off of Jared. Our team's deal wasn't complicated. Jared wasn't a scorer in the NBA, but in college, he was a problem.
Right.
Yeah. So we get the ball to Jared and we play off of him. We had 3 shooters around him, and Jared was a really good cutter and really knew how to play off of JJ. And we trashed Northwestern that night, and Jared had a good game. Mm-hmm. And then from then on, even if we lost, we were in every game.
Right.
And then, we got a really good rotation coming off the bench, and we were bringing Newt off the bench all of a sudden. And he was the best bench player in the league, and Moye was coming to his own, and Donald Perry was a really good freshman that was talented, that could fill holes off the bench. And that was the top 8. And then George would come in. And I'd say, that incident at Northwestern where it became clear that Odell was in the starting lineup, mm-hmm. and our roles became really defined after that, was the deal. And then the thing that we realized, and I don't know a specific time, but we were an elite defensive team. I'm not into all the advanced analytics, but if you get on KenPom, which is one of those things, I think that team finished first or second in the country defensively by that ranking.
Yeah.
And so we always felt that if we could get any scoring on that night, we were going to be there at the end because we could really guard. We were really versatile on defense. Jared could guard literally 1 through 5. If there was a guy going off, we could just put Jared on him. It was over. And we had a lot of size, George, Jeff, and JJ, they were at one time, I think, all top 10 all-time shot blockers in the Big Ten. So, there was no easy buckets when you got to the rim. But I think to answer your question, that Northwestern game and what our team became from then on was kind of like the thing, all right, we can play with anybody.